Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. This is our fun little coffee and a mystery card for today. If you don't know, on the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social, we play coffee and a mystery card every other Thursday, and today is that day. This is our cute little card for today, and it's a fun fold with a cool little designer series paper twist. I've been dying to make one of these little cards. Let's get started here. Got the base of my card. It's basic black. It's 4¼ by 5½. So that's standard folded size, only it's not folded, just one layer for the base. And then my designer series paper, you want to choose one that you like both sides because both sides are going to show. So I chose this one is from the Sweet Stockings designer series paper. If you haven't heard, Stampin' Up has put out their last chance list for the mini catalog, and this one is available while supplies last. All right, so we've got a piece that is 5¾ by 5⅛. I'm going to grab my Simply Score tool, pop my designer series paper in on the 5¾ inch side, and I'm going to score at 1¾ Now I've got another piece of basic black cardstock here. This one is 3�3/8 by 4½. We're going to bring our Simply Score tool in and score this one. Pop it in the score tool at 4½ and score at 2¼ So now we've got the pieces for our card base. Let's get a bone folder and put these together. So the basic black mini card here is 3�3/8 by 2¼ and it opens on the wrong side. All right, so that's our first little piece. And then designer series paper, this one when folded, maybe we'll go the opposite way on this one. I wondered how that would look. Now this one when it's folded is 4 inches by 5⅛. I'm going to put these two pieces together with liquid glue on the card base. So you can use tear and tape or your dry adhesive here if you like. I'm going to go right up around the edges and then center the designer series paper with the fold on your left hand on the card base. And then we're going to bring our little mini card backwards, so it opens backwards. Liquid glue on the back of the mini card. We're going to pop that right centered in our card base. So you're going to have, actually it's a little bit high of center. I've got a smaller header than footer. So a little high of center, but centered right to left. You want to equal designer series paper peak on each side. And get it all squared up and then burnished down. So there's the mechanics of our fun fold. Let's give that a second to dry and we'll do some stamping. I've got my Penguin Place bundle. It's back in stock, and through the end of this catalog, this mini catalog, you can buy the Penguin Builder Punch and the Penguin Place stamp set together and save 10%. These products will carry over, but they will not be available with the bundle discount again. So if you've had your eye on it, grab it now while it's in stock and 10% off when you buy both. I want a super dark black penguin, so I'm going to put it in my Stamparatus. And when you look at the orientation of the punch, he's upside down and to the right. So to keep from using a lot of paper waste, we want to stamp him upside down in this bottom left corner of our cardstock. Let's see, or we could do it upside down in this bottom left corner. If we go this way, that's going to be better. All right, so we're going to pull out our paper, put in our cardstock. We want the magnets because we don't want this to wiggle. We're going to double stamp our penguin. And I want this so that we can reach him. We need him all the way at the bottom edge. Might have to move my stamp a little bit so that it's low enough for the punch to get. All right, got my cardstock in. Could move my penguin down just a smidgen because we don't want to have trouble reaching in with the punch. Yep, that'll do nicely. Got Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to ink my stamp, stamp my penguin, and then I'm going to ink my stamp again and stamp over. I don't want a fuzzy black penguin. I don't want a grayish black penguin. I want a nice strong black and white. And then we're going to put little yellow feet and beak on. So we're going to double stamp the black and really get a good strong image. When you're really close to the hinges here, you want to give a little extra attention to that edge of the stamp. Beautiful, nice dark penguin. All right, now I don't want to clean that stamp right now, so I'll throw a piece of small grid paper in. That way my mat stays nice and clean. And put a lid on this ink pad before something bad happens. Penguin places photopolymer, so I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat. Let's get some ink pads here. I've got Bumblebee and Cherry Cobbler. All right, on Cherry Cobbler with Cherry Cobbler ink, I'm going to stamp a scarf and a hat. We get to play penguin dress up. And then on a scrap of basic white, I'm going to stamp 2 bumblebee feet. So cute. Now this piece is 3/8 of an inch by 2 5/8, and we're going to stamp our greeting on there. To the coolest friend ever. We're going to stamp that in Cherry Cobbler and centered on this little scrap. We need our little penguin back in here for just a second on the beak. Let's do a bumblebee beak on our penguin. Haha, cutie. I have a rectangle here, scalloped and stitched. It's cut using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. It's the 3rd from the largest. I've actually cut one for the inside and one for the outside. But we're going to stamp the inside greeting now. All right, Tuxedo Black. My sentiment says, happy to have you in my life. I think that goes really good with to the coolest friend ever. We're going to stamp that high up center on one of these little stitch scallop rectangles. And that sentiment is a sneak peek from the Sweet Conversations stamp set. This is coming in the January-June mini catalog. So excited for the new Valentine's products. Let's get the Stampin' Pierce mat out of here and do some cutting. We want some of this Cherry Cobbler cardstock to do some die cutting in just a minute. So cut that off and let me fussy cut my little hat and scarf. I do wish that Stampin' Up! Had a little punch pack, like a penguin accessories punch pack, so we could punch out the scarf, the hat, the balloon, the little treat bag. There's a little pine tree image. I want a punch pack. Everybody should write Stampin' Up! An email and ask them to make us a little punch pack for the accessories. It's not hard fussy cutting, it just takes a minute. I'm going to get the hat and the scarf all cut out. Now let's punch our little penguins upside down. Pop it right into the punch. Ta-da! So cute! Now feet. Let's do a little assembly on our penguin pieces so we don't lose them. Got some liquid glue, and we're going to glue scarf, hat, and feet. Give our penguin a second to dry. All right. He's just so cute. He just came to life, didn't he? All right, let's put all of our bits aside for just a minute here and get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting and then a little bit of embossing. So I've got my cherry cobbler cardstock and the 3 hearts. This is from the Give It a Whirl dies. I love the accessories from that die set. There's clouds and banners and hearts and stars and scallop circly bits and arrows and just some really fun supporting pieces in that die set. And these stitched hearts are just adorable accents. All right, let's take the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out for just a second. I'm gonna throw my hearts back in the Give It a Whirl dies and show you just real quick some of the great pieces that are in here. So cute little arrows, clouds, my stars are missing. I've got 3 of this die set. It makes cutting classes easier. So I bet my stars are in the other dies, but just a really cool supporting. I love this little banner. Good die set. I've got some old olive cardstock and my pine tree punch. Let's punch one of those. Now we're gonna bring the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in, but we're gonna do it for embossing with one of the mini folders. So this is a regular folder. It's not a 3D. So we'll pop our little tree, making sure that our pattern is running straight down the trunk and the tip of the tree. It's really important because it's such a strong vertical pattern that you get it in there straight. And then we're going to bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in. I've got the platform, which is number 1. We'll put number 3, just a cutting plate, our folder, and then number 3, which is another cutting plate. And that's how you emboss one of these folders that isn't 3D. And look at the cool texture it puts on the tree. That's from the greenery embossing folders. Bring our bits back in now. We've got our inside greeting, and we're going to use a little liquid glue and put the smallest little heart right underneath that happy to have you in my life greeting. Oh, just so cute. That alone is just so cute. Now I've got another rectangle here and a piece of designer series paper. This one is one 5/8 by 2 3/4. So when I make my charts and I determine what size piece fits inside of any of the rectangles, the first time I use it, and I measure the piece, I cut it, then I write it on my chart. So I never have to find that measurement again. I never have to figure it out to cut. I never have to go measure it to write a project sheet. It's just always right there for my reference. So just a handy little something. Oh, I should have put the lights up on this one since I put the paper the other way. Oh, well, it's too late. There's already glue. I hate this paper when both sides are pretty and it's hard to put the glue on one side. All right, so there's our inside and outside panels for our little mini card. Let's get the little mini card back in. We're going to glue the outside panel. Cutie. And then we're going to glue the inside panel, just centered on that little backwards card. Gotta love it. Wonder which way I'm going to like it better, with the blue prominent or with the lights prominent. We're going to put them side by side after and compare. All right, so there's our little card. All right, so we have our 2 5/8 by 3/8 inch greeting. And then I have a piece of designer series paper that's 2 5/8 by, I don't remember if this is 3/4 or 5/8. Either way, I think is going to be just fine. But we're going to make these 2 pieces one piece. I'm going to run a little bead of glue right along the bottom back side. and adhere. Cute, cute. Then we're going to line this up on the card. Putting glue only on this right side. The left side is going to hang past our little card. You can line this up so that the right edge is along the fold and the bottom edge is right above the stitches. If you go past this fold, this little card will not open completely. So keep that in mind when you're making design choices for this kind of a card. Ha, so cute. Next up, our tree and our penguin need dimensionals. I'm going to use a combination of dimensionals and mini dimensionals. It's our little tree right up above the sentiment there. Our little penguin, make sure he doesn't go past the fold. If any little part of him goes past the fold, we'll have trouble opening and closing that mini card. And then I'm going to take a mini dimensional and I'm going to put it right up underneath the trunk of the tree, peel. There's a little bit of adhesive exposed there, right? And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the top of the heart, so liquid at the top, and then dimensional adhesive on the little card. And I'm going to actually just slide this little heart so that it goes underneath his scarf and his toes, and then just adhere to the card. Oh, that's so, so cute. All right, couple of little embellishment things. We still have our big heart. I'm gonna tie a loopy bow with the black and white gingham. I love that this one's gonna carry over. So is our penguin. Designer series paper as well, supplies last. And then we're gonna get a loopy bow here. Maybe a little bit bigger. Go a little bit bigger than you might think, because we're going to actually adhere it to the back of our sentiment where it hangs over the card there. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let me cut it away and get some glue dots. I'm going to take my mini glue dots and I'm going to use 2 glue dots. We're going to go right next to the knot, kind of half on the knot, half on the loop, half on the knot, half on the loop over here, right on the front of our bow. Then we're going to put the bow right on the back of the sentiment. So this is what it looks like from the front, and this is what it looks like from inside. All right, now we can trim. I think this tail's still a little bit long. Pretty cute, right? Okay, we're not done embellishing yet. Then another really good winter embellishment. This is the wonderful snowflakes. If you haven't gotten these, they're available while supplies last. They're these gorgeous iridescent laser cut snowflakes. And you're going to keep all of this beautiful iridescent paper from around the snowflake, because this is fantastic for die cutting little bits and adding that iridescent gorgeous to your cards. All right, so when I take these out, I like to press on the snowflake while lifting the background paper, and I just push until it snaps. See, so you'll hear it snap. And once you've done that all the way around the snowflake, then you can just kind of lift it out. So delicate, so beautiful. And we're going to glue this one inside on this flap. You want to make sure that your snowflake doesn't go past the fold. On my first sample, it went past the fold just a little bit, so I didn't glue down that edge. And it still opens, but my snowflake is getting a little bit folded up. It's soft enough that it's not a problem, but I said when I make the video, I'm going to push that in just the tiniest bit. Do you see? Just so that those tips are inside of the fold. So how I like to do these little snowflakes, I like to put a little bit of liquid adhesive on the center and then put it down where I want it to live. So the little points of my snowflake are going to go all the way up against the fold, but not past. It's okay if it goes over on this side, no big deal at all. Then what I like to do is just squeeze a little bit of glue. See how we got just a little bit of glue on the tip of the bottle there? And then I like to lift the little arms of the snowflake and just rub some of that glue. You can give a really light little squeeze of the bottle, just that tiny little drop at the end, and kind of smear it around on the back of the legs of the snowflake. And then once you've done that, you can just gently press down, and that'll give your snowflake a little bit more security without having a whole lot of gluey mess. All right, we're going to do one more time right here, keeping in mind where it goes over the edge. We don't want to glue our card closed. So just to the edges there. Oh, I have a little bit gluey finger now. There. All right, so we've got our beautiful snowflake. It definitely shows a little bit better on the blue flap than on the bulbs, but we're going to now take our big stitched heart, put that right in the center of the snowflake, which I think will bring a little bit of attention to our snowflake. Isn't that cute? And there it is. To the coolest friend ever. Designer Series paper both ways. Which one do you like? The blue primarily or the bulbs primarily? And then inside. Happy to have you in my life. All right, if you guys have any questions about coffee and a mystery card, about today's project, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, check out the last chance list. You can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.